Thank you for coming back again. This part is called the Write a Play section, and this is the first lecture in the Write a Play. And this one we call Find a Joke. Find a joke. Your play for this project that you're going to write will be based on a joke. And so the first part of it is we have to find a joke. And so we talk about finding a joke. Many of you will know jokes. And in particular, what we're looking for is a story joke or a three-part joke. And any joke that begins with something like a priest, a rabbi, and a minister walk into a clothing store, and the joke continues from there. Any joke that has three parts to it or three characters to it. Now, we've got tons of, you all know tons of jokes that are, appropriate and inappropriate jokes. And which kind of joke you want to tell is up to you. I don't believe in censoring things. I will be the only one reading this. I'll be the only one aware of your joke. I'll be the only one reading your final project. So the only one that you really have to worry about is offending me. I'm not easily offended. I don't find much offense in words and things like that. Situations, talking about the whole list of politically correct subject matters. I'm not interested in offending anyone, and whatever joke you select will be just fine, as long as it's got three parts. The purpose is we're going to take this three-part joke and turn it into a play. And I'll talk in the next lecture about exactly why we're doing that. But for right now, your job is to go out and find a play. I'm actually going to give you an example of a joke. I'll tell you my personal all-time favorite joke. And I will be using that joke in the next lecture as the basis of how I describe to you to write your play. It's really not that hard, and I think you'll find that it's a lot of fun. So you're going to go online. You're going to find a story joke or a three-part joke. And again, if you do a search of story joke or three-part joke, you'll find a list of tons of jokes. You need to find one that you like, that you're comfortable with, and that I kind of think of it this way, is it's something you'd be embarrassed to tell your mother or embarrassed to tell my mother. And so with that idea in mind, you need to go out and find a joke. After you found the joke, you're going to come back. You're going to take the test immediately following this. I believe it's called the Find a Joke test. I think it's just Find a Joke test. And there you're simply going to have an essay question, and I want you to submit the joke in that essay question. Type it out, cut and paste, however you get it in there. Put the joke there and submit it. It'll be worth 10 points, and it's kind of a you do it or you don't do it. You won't get 9 points. Or I will reject the joke because it doesn't fit the story or the three-part joke criteria that are needed to do this project with. So go find a joke. Make sure it's written down, because we're going to work from your written down joke and we're going to expand that into a play. So, I'm going to give you an example of my absolute favorite three-part joke, and this is the joke that I'll use as the example so that we can show you how to write it. And the joke goes like this. Three pieces of string are walking down the street, and they come upon a bar. Well, at this bar, they decide, we should get some beer and go home and have a nice time. So, the three characters, piece of string number one goes into the bar and says, hey, Mr. Bartender, I'd like a 6-pack of Bud Light. Bartender looks at him. Oh, no, wait a minute. You're a piece of string. I don't like your kind, and I never will. Get out of my bar. So the first piece of string hangs his head and exits. Second piece of string says, oh, you're so stupid. So he straightens himself up and brushes off, smooths walks into the bar, and he says, Mr. Bartender, could I kindly have a 6-pack of Michelob Light so that my friends and I might enjoy a nice evening at home? Bartender looks at him and says, hey, wait a minute, you're a piece of string. I don't like your kind, and I never did. Get out of my bar. So the second piece of string goes outside, hangs his head, and says, oh, that guy's impossible. So the third piece of string says, you guys are so stupid. So he takes himself and he twists and wraps and tucks himself around and he grabs his head and he rubs it all out. He walks into the bar and he says, Mr. Bartender, I want a 6-pack of Guinness and I want it now. The bartender looks at him and goes, hey, wait a minute. Aren't you a piece of string? String number 3 looks at him and goes, oh, no, sorry, afraid not. The end of the joke. And so that's my favorite all-time joke. That wasn't the best telling of it. But that's a typical 3-part joke. That's what you're looking for. Find something where you've got 3 separate, I'll call them episodes. And again, after you've got that, come back, fill out the test, and then go to the second lecture on Write a Play lecture, and I'll be describing all of this. All right, that's it for today. Or that's it, not for today. Go find your joke and come back. If you know it, write it down. Otherwise, go find one. And we'll see you back here and we'll tell you exactly how to write that into a play. Bye. So long. None of them have seen it.